Again, we're gonna try this. I don't think this is actually gonna be open. Oh wow. So it was open at one time, but now has been, looks like, completely destroyed on the inside. There's all kinds of destruction and stones that are falling down. I don't really know exactly why. Wow. And the door is completely unlocked, but there is a padlock right here so that no one can get in, at least from this side. That's strange. I can't really tell. It looks like, I don't know, it doesn't really necessarily look like it was vandalism though. It's hard to say. It kind of looks like tiles had fallen from really high up, unless somebody tried to get into it from above. It doesn't seem like that much destruction would be present just from somebody coming in through a ladder or a rope or something, which would be something sort of odd to do anyway. But there are some windows that are broken out in the back. But I'd still really love to get in and take a look at it. I think there is another door on the back. Again, I don't know if it's really going to be unlocked. It seems like it'll probably also be padlocked. An incredibly large and amazing looking structure. I would love to check it out. Here's at least one way we can check it out. I'm not seeing too much destruction. There are a few things that have fallen off the walls. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's been used that's been broken into. Just a lot of fallen stones. It looks like maybe from the ceiling, like they weren't secured properly and just started falling over the years. And then they decided to maybe do a future renovation and closed it all off. There are some more vents here, but it's unlikely to get a good... Yeah, we're not gonna get a view at all through there. I can't even see through. Well, this one looks like we might get a good view. Let me pull out the other camera. All right, well, I don't see any signage around. It looks like it's mostly empty space. It may be that a lot of the markers have been moved or buried over the years. And completely surrounded by a farm here, so it could be a family graveyard. And definitely some erosion damage. You can see several items have fallen and slid down this hill. So far I'm seeing Miller's and Mitchell's, and both are pretty abundant in, I mean, the United States in general, so kind of hard to tell if it's a family plot or not. Definitely in pretty bad condition, as you can see though. Lots of things have just been leaned up against this tree here. Yeah, there's definitely something. I don't know if there's going to be any names on it or what we'll find. I don't think the top section is actually left. And definitely no sign of the topper with any names. Although I would say it's probably unlikely that it's just a little trash pile, especially being a place of this size. Whoa. There's a lot more to meets the eye right here. There's another headstone right there. Oh, what is that? I think somebody's coming by on a motorcycle. It sounds like an old, oh yeah, it's like an old four-wheeler of some sort. Wow, this place is incredible. Look at this. This is something here, and right here as well. It looks like maybe at one time this was a fairly elaborate above ground or ground level crypt here, and it's just kind of worn away. You can see a huge divot right here, and then right here is some of the remaining concrete. Wow. Not incredibly hard to read some of them, but even these big ones seem really out of place. They're not even in, it doesn't look like they're in rows. I mean, only very slightly. You can kind of see the strange direction that it's taking here. And then along this tree here again is a ton of headstones that probably have been just discovered randomly throughout the open area here and then placed up against this tree here. And there's quite a few. And there's another section, it looks like, around these little trees here. I know some of them are just slowing down because they see the car there on the road, but it just always makes me kind of suspicious when people slow down. Whoa, look at this. So again, perfectly illustrates what I've said so many times. This is a fully fledged, several 100-pound monument here, and it is just sinking into the ground. And I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is something that was used to prop it up at one time. I don't know if there's any other markers that are lost in here. Oh, somebody turned around. Somebody definitely turned around and is now slowly coming back. So this should be, it looks like they're gonna keep going though. Huh. I thought for sure they went all the way down to that farmhouse down the street, pulled in the driveway, turned around, and kept going. So who knows? Maybe just doing a quick check-in. I don't really have any idea. This place is pretty battered. This probably happened over the winter, I'm assuming. It's been lots and lots of storms. And you can see that this stone here probably got toppled over when a branch fell on top of it. And it's not the only one. Here is another one that almost surely got hit by this when it fell. And a third one even under here. Honestly, this is probably one of the worst ones I've seen. We're about to go visit one that's in the process of getting restored now, but I'm not sure even it was really this bad. Here's even you can barely tell, but this is like a family section right here. Oh wow, something's caved in completely over here. Wow. And so you can see, wow, this is completely caved in. And the headstone's actually fallen through. And I believe this is actually the upper vault. As most people know, the graves are about 6 feet down normally. And so when you see a situation like this, just understand that I'm not showing the vault that the actual casket would have been in. This is the upper vault, and then there probably would have been another seal below with the casket in it. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way to these people's memory, but just to show the damage that does occur. And you can see that the headstone here has been caught actually in between two of the sections, so you can tell it probably split down the middle and literally fell vertically into the hole. And so seeing this section in this condition, I can officially say this is the graveyard in the worst condition that I've ever been to. It's kind of sad. Quite an amazing location, beautiful area. You can tell why they would have built this place here, but again, the winters and the large trees and all the plant life just doesn't make it easy for a place like this to exist. And so things like this happen, and very, very unfortunate. But you know, hopefully it's something that, again, maybe some people can see this and maybe do something to help. Places like this don't have to remain this way. But it's definitely up to the people of the area and the people that see this to kind of choose to do something about it, you know. And again, just so bizarre because, you know, you see some of these other areas, even this right here, which is clearly a veteran's grave, and it's in fairly decent condition here, and all around it is just absolute destruction. Well, and this tree, you can see right here, it looks like at one time has swallowed a grave and it broke apart on the inside is what it looks like. And surprising, again, that something like this is actually still standing with the way everything else looks here. And there's so many different pieces to them that it seems like they often are the first to fall apart. And even in between the rows here, there's more stuff that's hiding. And you couldn't really tell before, but right here, it looks like the top of that memorial but behind it here, you can actually see that it has fallen over and penetrated through the rock there. And that might have been what first started the cracking and caving in of this section here. And a bunch of different family members' memorials laying around the edge here. And then even more are hiding here in the brush. And I don't know how safe it is even to be back here. It's hard to even tell what some of this is. There's definitely a piece of stone there, and yet another memorial that's fallen backwards into the brush. And I want to be real careful because I don't want to go in just like the hole right here. And you can see that this is penetrating it and probably will take it down with it here shortly. I'm sure that the weight will eventually bust it completely and it will look similar to this grave here. So, even though it's sad, it is very fascinating to see how these places age and how they're taken back by nature. And so, you know, I figure it's worth a look to see what it's like. And again, this is not the grave, but the upper seal, and there is clearly no remains or casket below, so we're not going to show something that would be disrespectful to the deceased. But I think it's still incredibly important to see this stuff and what is possible, what can happen if we don't come out and keep these places nice and restore them back to what they were meant to be. You know, so this is the face of the worst right here. But you know, fortunately, I think it's even itself still savable. It's going to take a lot of work, but the name's clearly still on there and visible, and there could be a new slab put on the top there, and it could be restored to nearly new condition. And again, this whole place is not completely lost. It could be made to look good again. And so I think it's really important to keep that in mind, that this doesn't have to be the end for places like this. This can be just a dark period in history.